We have a challenge, don't we, as educators. Students now have so many devices. Now, I come from a background of teaching. I'm an Apple Distinguished Educator, so I do spend most of my time working with Apple technologies in schools with teachers and students. And there is a theme developing, is that people rush out to buy this wonderful technology, but they haven't really thought about how they're going to use it. In fact, I think some teachers rely on the students to tell them how to use it, which is okay for some things, but not for everything. So my presentation really is to be quite short, and I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks of thinking about how you can implement technology effectively in your classroom. Because, I mean, this next slide resonates, because I have 3 children. The eldest was born in 1995, when Netscape was invented and created, and the birth of the internet. So he's known nothing but technology, and he loves technology. So those are university students. My daughter, born in 1998, so then she was born just after Google. Just after Google created what it's created, that everything we take for granted, search engine. When I ask a question in the house, 3 people just Google it. And then my youngest was born in 2001, and he is the biggest techie head of them all. And now primary school students have known nothing but mobile technologies. So how many devices do you think your students own? How many do they come to school with? I've noticed there's a lady down there with a laptop, a massive iPhone, and an iPad. She's so busy. It's incredible. I wonder what she's doing. She's so busy now, she doesn't even know I'm talking about it. So, I want to do a little bit of audience participation, and this is quite risky, because I normally do this with a class of 30, and there's over 1,000 of you here. So this is a tech conference, so let's test the tech. So what I'd like you to do is to open up a browser on your mobile device, whether that's a phone, a tablet, a laptop. Open up the browser and type in that URL as quickly as you can. Go! So any browser will do it, as long as you're connected to the internet. Type in www.padlet.com/oStringerEdTech. Okay? And you'll be taken to a Padlet wall. Alright? So on that Padlet wall, I've posed a question, and the question is, what do you want to achieve with the technology? Because there's so much out there. There's some wonderful examples of just fantastic technology that we've got going. But what do you want to achieve? You have got to have an idea about what you want to achieve with that technology. So have you all got that web address? Yeah? Padlet.com/oStringer/EdTech. So this takes us to a wall. Whoa, look at that. Now, if you're writing in Turkish, I'm not going to know what you're saying. Okay? I want to teach them to know how to know skills, or to engage students more. Now, I do think technology can do that. Technology can certainly engage students, but it's how we choose to do that. Teaching how to learn with technology, good. Enhancing the learning ability, that is good. But there is a theory, isn't there, that the classroom now doesn't just last from, say, 8:30 to 3. Students can learn and learn and learn. They can learn on the bus, they can learn on the train, they can learn wherever they want. Good. Creation and engagement. I like that one. I think that's where technology has such power, is to allow anyone to be creative, to create content quickly. Uh-oh, we have someone, it's a selfie. That's not bad, just one selfie out of the 1,000, actually. guys. Well done. That's something close to that. Excellent. Good. I'm in, so what do you want me to do? Could you just answer the question, please? By break. Hurry up, come on, get on with it. So, I can, this is a lovely called Padlet. So it was in the clue was in the URL. It's called Padlet, it's free, it's lovely. It means that you can ask a big group of people a question and you can get the answer back instantly. And what's even better is I can save it. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, but I do think this is a great app. So if I tap on here, I can then export this as a PDF. So then I have all that evidence. And when I come back next year, or 2 years, I'll ask the same question. See how you've got on with some of those ideas. Because they're great ideas. Maybe we should put this on there. So if I just tap on PDF, it goes to PDF, I can embed it if I wanted to into my blog, my WordPress site, really quickly. Simple, but effective. Fantastic, because I think I'm going to go back to my presentation, because the crucial bit here, based on all of that, and you can keep that as well, you can save all of that as a PDF. That's called collaborative learning, isn't it? Don't you think? That's collaborative learning, that's what we want. When I was at school, it was called cheating. When you learn from each other, that was called cheating. You weren't allowed to do that. Now it's collaborative, it's allowed at some points in the lesson. Okay? So you can all learn from each other very, very quickly. You can all take that away and save it as a PDF. But this, if there's one slide I want you to take away with you today from my presentation, it's this one. Because this is crucial. What is your vision and what is your plan for when you implement the technology, whatever that technology is? What do you want to do to help raise student standards and to make your lives as teachers a little bit easier? Because there are lots of web apps out there that will help you. So let's just look at this picture quickly. So this was made in the 1950s. Okay, it's a cartoon, and they were predicting what the future of education might look like. So they've got screens. Now that's quite close. They've got screens, that's good. But what we have here is we don't have a teacher. And this is a bit of a theme with these pictures. If you Google this, it is quite interesting. Because the theme that runs through it is that the teacher isn't really there. Which is, I think, a little bit worrying. Because the technology is great, but the teachers are the stars. Okay, the teachers inspire. They just use technology as a tool to help them. What's also a little bit disturbing about this is they use the technology to discipline the children when they get it wrong. A bit of crack around the head, which is a little bit worrying. But what this could suggest, in a very roundabout way, is it could be encouraging sort of independent learning. Because I think technology really does encourage, empower independent learning. Where the students can learn outside of the classroom in their own way, maybe with lots of video, maybe with music, maybe with dance. But students can learn independently. I have seen so much evidence of this, but the one real piece in the puzzle of this is technology. So technology can really allow independent learning. So when you're creating your vision and your plan for implementing the technology, think about independent learning. How can it help you encourage the students to work independently? So this is an app I like to use, and it's another web app, very quickly. Do you know ThingLink? Does anyone know ThingLink? So this is ThingLink, and it's another web app. What I can do with ThingLink is I can get a picture, and I can add hotspots of information to that picture. Okay, so what I've got here is I've got links to websites. So this is more information about Van Gogh's paintings and where they live. If I want to, I can put some text in there. So I can give this to the students before the lesson begins. I can even play a little piece of video if I want to. It says, testing out. Here we go. This is embedded.
Hello, I'm Vincent Van Gogh. I use the technique called impasto, meaning paste or dough in Italian. Can you find paintings by other artists who use the same technique?
So about it, a video clip. It could be that it's a video clip from YouTube. This is a YouTube video clip. So I put this video from YouTube into my project. And what's lovely is the students aren't being distracted by dogs on circles. Because that's what happens when you go to YouTube, isn't it? You go to YouTube, you think you're going to find a great video to help you know something. Oh, and there's a dog on a circle. I've got to watch that. Oh, and there are people falling down cliffs. Oh, that's really funny. And before you know it, the students are distracted. So Figling allows me to create links to help students learn and research in a focused way. And this is an app on the iPad. Figling, it's free. Download it, you have a picture, you populate with hotspots, and then you can share that link with the students. I like to use QR codes. For the class, I would turn that into a QR code, and the students would be connected, and they can take that away with them. They can take that, back home, so they can do some work at home. So that's Figling, another free app like Atlas. What's happening here? This is from the 1900s. They weren't far wrong here, were they? I mean, this is kind of like space-time. But it's being projected onto the board. But it's magic, isn't it? It really is. They were thinking, in the 1900s, before any technology had been invented, they were thinking in ways that were kind of magical. And when technology works, it feels like magic. And there's one thing I'd like you to check out, and I know they're the main sponsor, but it's also very exciting, is Flipper. Okay? Check out Flipper. If you know what augmented reality is, you know what augmented reality is? Or Rasma, Anatomy 4D, which I'm going to show you by car. Essentially, it's like magic. But Flipper takes it on to the next level. So in the 1900s, they really had kind of thought about this is what the world would look like in 2012. So Anatomy 4D is another one. Check it out. It's free. Okay, a free app on your iPhone, on your iPad. If you teach science, it's wonderful. So this is what we usually do. This is another one from the 1950s. What can we see here? Again, there is no teacher in the class. It's videos. Why they thought that. But they do have screens. But the thing is, there is an app that will allow you to do this. There is an app that will allow you to create videos. And this video was made by a 10-year-old girl in a school in Wales, in the United Kingdom, and they were looking at space as their topic. And the students wrote out a news report on a planet that they had researched. And in about 2 minutes, the student created this news report.
Hello, welcome to Planet News. I'm Freya Williams and I'm going to tell you some interesting facts about Venus. We have found out Venus orbits the shiny sun in 225 days. Venus is made up of central iron core and a rocky mantle. Venus is named after the Roman goddess of love and beauty. That is all for tonight. Goodbye.
So very, very simply, students was able to create an animation with this app, Telegami. It's free. There is a paid for version, don't worry about it. All it does is allow you to change hair and shoes. Not really that important when it comes to learning. What you want to use it for is to encourage students to present their ideas, to be creative. Another wonderful app is Yakit Kids. I am doing a session downstairs in Big Ben, so I will show off loads of these apps. I'll do a kind of app test to show you some of the creative apps and apps that encourage independent learning. So, creative learning, using animation, video, music, expressing ideas and thoughts. Students make decisions. They can share and celebrate their ideas. And they're so good at that, aren't they? With Instagram, all of those things. And what we need to do is to really harness that desire to share and to celebrate as much as we can with this technology they have in their pockets. Look at this one. This is quite entertaining. This is another cartoon. So what you've got here, the teacher isn't even doing the work. This is how they brought technology. The technology would free up the teacher. And the boy is winding the handle, and the books are being converted into electronic signals, and the students are learning like that. It's a bit passive, isn't it? And that's one of the things that I think is concerning with all the screens that the students have, is that they start to learn passively. They're not creating, they're learning just watching other people's videos, rather than making their own, making decisions, forming ideas, and celebrating. So let's try and create creative learners who think independently and aren't passive learners, staring at screens, watching other people's stuff. So there is a bit of a theory that's been bandied around for a while. I'm just going to talk over this video. You can't even walk, all right? And then look what happens. I'm sure some of you have seen this video. It's not working. How frustrating is that? A digital native. Isn't that crazy? Is it broken or what? What's going on? So digital natives, honestly, they don't know more than you. They just look like they do. Okay, that's the thing to remember. And that little fella there really does show that. They don't necessarily know what they do. They need that guidance from you. Without that guidance, without that scaffolding and structure, the technology won't have impact. It would be fun for about a week. So do think about that. You are the stars, not the technology. The technology is purely a tool to allow you to do your job. So the question which she poses to her father, this is in Swedish, the question she poses to her father is, how are you getting on with your new iPad?
Den ganzen Apps kommst du klar?
So, training is crucial. So we really do get the most from this technology. I do think it is the most important part of all of this. There are some fantastic resources on YouTube. There are teachers' blogs. There's some fantastic stuff out there. But please, don't just open the boxes. Smell that lovely towel. Unwrap the loveliness and expect it to do it all. Because it won't. You do have to think about what you want from the technology. I'm going to be here doing a session in Big Bear. We'd love to see some of you. It's not as big as this space, so don't turn up. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the inspiring presentation. We have a donation on behalf of the Kids Who Have Cancer Foundation. It's a small symbol of our gratitude.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, I would like to invite Stephen Downs for this presentation.
Well, hello everyone. It's a pleasure to be here in Istanbul. This is my third time in Turkey, and it's been wonderful every time. I really appreciate you having invited me here today. I'm also impressed by the translation wall. It's the first time I've seen that happen. That's pretty good. And whoever is typing that is very fast. I'm going to talk about the future of educational media, and I don't have a product to sell you. And I have perhaps some cautions and some warnings. I want you to think about not just cool technology. It is cool technology right now. I'm wired like a cyborg. It's really cool. I like that. And we can broadcast around the world. We can make things very quickly. But I also want you to think about the larger environment in which we live, and especially the human dimension of technology. After all, we built the internet. It might be the greatest achievement in human history. It was certainly the most expensive. We spent trillions of dollars on it. And we use it to send chat photos around the world. That's the internet, but even better, that's people. And that's what makes the internet so wonderful. The inflexible law of learning kind of draws on what we just heard, kind of runs a little bit counter to what we just heard. It's when we do stuff that we learn, not when stuff does things for us. Learning happens here, right? It doesn't happen in the device. It doesn't happen on the screen. It doesn't happen on the computer. It happens here, in us. We have to do things in order to learn. And the power of our new technologies that we have today is that they allow us to do things in a way we never could before. I talked about a few of those ways we can do things. I'm going to talk about some of the features that we can look forward to and maybe correct few misperceptions on the way. So here's a quick look, and I'll confess, I stole this list from Contact North. Contact North is an organization that works in Canada, in Northern Ontario, in fact, that's the province where I live. And they came out recently with a list of new technologies. I spent the day yesterday analyzing this list and wrote my review of them. And these slides will be available after, so you'll be fine. So I want to look at each of these in turn. So let's look at machine learning and artificial intelligence. The story that we are being told about